and Resort.
Now at 10, property tax questions leave some residents in Cherokee County, Kansas scratching their heads. Plus, traffic and trains bring MoDOT to 32nd Street in Joplin to bring some relief. And a dangerous driver causes more than road issues for a business on Rangeline in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some Cherokee County, Kansas residents are surprised with an increase in their property tax. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Fernandez Silva went to the county courthouse to understand the reason for the higher taxes.
I have some work I need to do in my house, which it may have to back off on doing that because of this.
This, that the Cherokee County resident Barbara Bilk is referring to, is an increase in her property taxes.
Oh, it raised my taxes $400 a year, which for me, a single person, that's quite a bit.
We spoke to the county clerk, a commissioner, and the county appraiser to understand the reason behind that increase. According to the county commissioner, Corey Moats, the county mill is increasing by 3% compared to last year, leading to an increase in property taxes. Moats says that while the proposed budget for 2024 is almost $1.2 million less than the 2023 budget, the carryover reserve was less than the commissioners expected.
Whenever we do our budgets, we have to forecast 6 months ahead of time how much carryover from this budget is going to carry over into the next budget. And what has happened is we forecasted a certain amount of monies to be carryover to 2024. Those monies weren't there that we thought was going to be there, so therefore we had to increase the mill levy to make up the difference in the carryover from 23 to 24.
According to Moats, county commissioners decide if the mill goes up or down. For David Thornton, county appraiser, the reason for the increase in property taxes is the funds that are being requested by the taxing entities.
Like school districts, cities, counties, the state. I think we have like Southeast Kansas Library and some smaller ones like that, your townships if you're rural.
According to Rebecca Brassard, Cherokee County Clerk, another reason for the increased property tax is the fact that the county was not in compliance with the state's valuation requirements. According to the Kansas Department of Revenue Properties Valuation Division, when a county is out of compliance with the state, that means that they are failing to meet the acceptable standards for property appraisals.
We had to raise valuations to get into compliance with that market ratio that the state was requesting. So from that, you can see that would cause an increase in everyone's taxes.
Been implementing some substantial increases, which is larger than what we would have normally in any time in the past, to try to catch back up to be in compliance. Just because your value goes up doesn't mean your taxes will go up. Okay. So that's where I come in and say there's no direct effect. In theory, I could take everybody's value and cut it in half. The taxing entities are still going to collect their funds to fund the city, schools, the county, etc. So what that will create then is if everybody's value is cut in half and they collect the exact same amount of money, then that levy would have to double to collect the same amount of funds.
According to Brassard, people can ask for a revision on their property tax.
They can fill out the payment under protest in the treasurer's office when they pay that first half taxes. Okay. Yes. And then if they're not happy with the decision made, then they have that option.
Barbara says she will try to protest the value.
Well, I don't like it, but I know everything's going up, so sometimes you have to take it.
In Columbus, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
The Kansas Department of Revenue's Property Valuation Division said they're going to try to visit with Cherokee County Commissioners at a county commission meeting before the end of the year. PVD declined our request for an interview. You can watch all 3 complete interviews and read some documents they shared with us on our website, koamnewsnow.com. The Missouri Department of Transportation hopes to relieve traffic congestion on East 32nd Street in Joplin. That area in question is by the General Mills plant, an area that not only sees heavy 18-wheeler traffic, but also trains. MoDOT plans to ease traffic congestion along 32nd Street and Stevens Boulevard by placing a traffic light at the intersection. Davis Boulevard will relocate to Stevens Boulevard. Once that's done, MoDOT plans to build a bridge over the CPKC Railroad.
It's been a problem area for quite some time for us, and we realize the traffic does back up there and the stop sign's problematic.
You can voice your comments about the upcoming project by going to our website, again, KOAMnewsnow.com. Missouri American Water rains down a monetary donation to a Joplin charity. Today, the MAW presented a check to the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri for a workforce readiness grant. It amounted to $6,000.
Something about this time of year, even more so, and I think that workforce readiness is really critical because we're looking at a time where we need to really develop skills in young people to be able to enter the workforce. So I think this is something that can ultimately make the community stronger.
The Workforce Readiness Grant is part of the American Water Charitable Foundation's Keep Communities Flowing grant program. It focuses on 3 pillars of giving: water, people, and communities. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for a first look at the weather.
Well, definitely turned out to be another nice day for us today. Temperatures have been great, upper 50s to near 60 degrees. The past few days, 60 today, 31 was our low. Average high is 48, so 12 degrees above that mark. It's going to be very similar once again as we get into the daytime hours on Thursday. However, tracking a storm system out to the west. Look at the rain out through parts of Oklahoma. Snow once you get into the Rocky Mountains. But this whole storm system moving very slowly, but it is actually heading toward us, and this is going to give us rain chances, especially by the time we head into Friday, and those chances increasing as we go through the daytime hours on Friday. Not tonight. Clouds will thicken for us tomorrow. We'll drop back to about 36 degrees. Of course, we're going to look at this storm system rolling in coming up here in just a bit. Dow?
Doug, thanks. Authorities are trying to determine the cause of a fire that destroyed a Galena, Kansas home this afternoon. Firefighters from Galena, Baxter Springs, Carl Junction, and the Quapaw Nation all responded to that fire at 407 Bellevue. Galena police helped get the residents out of the home. Residents got medical treatment at the scene, but no one went to the hospital. The fire gutted the home, and an initial investigation indicates it might have had an electrical cause. Turns out sometimes when there's smoke, there's not always a fire. Joplin Fire responded to a call for a fire at Jimmy John's rooftop at 4th and Rangeline. They discovered someone in a nearby parking lot doing burnouts with their vehicle, basically just from the friction of the tires on the pavement. It created the smoke that was taken in by the roof's intake and caused the fire alarm to sound. A 25-year-old driver was arrested for careless driving. According to drivers on Rangeline, that smoke from the burnout was thick enough they thought there was a structure on fire. Later in sports, a Diamond High School standout signs her letter of intent to play collegiate softball. John's going to have details for us in sports. First, though, Republicans in the House take another step closer to an impeachment inquiry into President Biden.
Let Ford make the holidays bright.
A formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden has begun on Capitol Hill. The effort, led by House Republicans, passed earlier this evening, just hours after the president's son, Hunter Biden, defied a congressional subpoena. Natalie Brand has the latest.
The resolution is adopted.
A cheer went up from House Republicans as they voted along party lines to formally authorize an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Republicans allege he may have benefited from his family's foreign business dealings.
It's very clear the White House has been obstructing our investigation. I think the message sent today is very loud and clear. We expect them to comply.
Republicans now have better legal standing to demand interviews and documents from the White House. So far, the year-long House GOP investigation into the Bidens has not led to any direct evidence of wrongdoing by the president.
And this Congress, the majority, will do everything in their power to ensure that Donald Trump gets reelected.
The vote followed a rare public statement from Hunter Biden, who defied a congressional subpoena for a closed-door deposition earlier today. He said he was always willing to testify publicly.
Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics.
Just last week, Hunter Biden was indicted on tax evasion charges, and he's facing gun charges. He acknowledged mistakes he's made and defended his father.
There's no evidence to support the allegations that my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen.
The White House has routinely stayed quiet about the investigations into Hunter Biden, but today, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the president was familiar with what his son was going to say during his visit to Capitol Hill. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
House Republicans are now recommending Hunter Biden be investigated for a contempt of Congress criminal charge. In a statement, President Biden said of Republicans, quote, "Instead of doing anything to make Americans' lives better, they're focused on attacking me with lies," end quote. A breakthrough at the International Climate Summit in Dubai, known as COP28 today. An agreement to tackle the climate crisis is being hailed as both historic and not enough. For the first time in nearly 30 years of UN climate summits, nations agreed to tackle the root cause of the climate crisis, fossil fuels. The final agreement calls for transitioning away from fossil fuels and accelerating action in this critical decade. But this agreement, while historic, is also non-binding. It's a promise enforced by international peer pressure. The U.S. supports transitioning away from fossil fuels, but is also currently the world's largest oil producer. More than 1 in 4 pregnant people exposed to cannabis have an unhealthy pregnancy outcome. According to researchers at the University of Utah Health, that's about 1.5 times higher than those who avoid the drug. They found the strongest association with low birth rate. Other risks include pregnancy-related high blood pressure, stillbirth, and medically indicated preterm birth. Doug's forecast is next, and a little bit later, some big imagination set up shop in an itty-bitty city.
Party and win for Well, of course, another nice day for us today. Temperatures right around 60 degrees, which is great. We should only be topping out into the upper 40s for this time of the year. Let's go outside. Here's a nice shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, of course, our tower cam downtown, looking off toward the northeast. Great shot. It's dry. It's going to stay dry as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Temperatures eventually back to about 36. Rebound back to our average high for this time of the year by 10 a.m. as we're going to see those great temperatures once again as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. All right, clouds thickening up, Kansas into Oklahoma. I think partly sunny skies in the morning, cloudy skies, or at least mostly cloudy tomorrow afternoon. But we've been tracking this storm system out to our west. Covers a lot of real estate, but it's overall fairly weak. And it's moving really slow. You can see a little rain-snow mix, western Kansas. You get into the snow, Colorado Springs up toward Denver, and then if you track farther south, you get rain once you get through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. But what this is what we call cutoff low. You can see the area of low pressure. What's it cut off from? The main jet stream way up into Canada. So nothing really shoves it off toward the east. So it just slowly meanders toward us. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the next few days. All right, well, let's move all the way into Saturday morning. Here it comes. Rain rolls in. A little back wave pushes it out as we head into early next week. Now, I do want you to notice this. Look at this big ridge. That means we get great temperatures again early next week. Here's Tuesday, but I also want to focus our attention late next week because that's the weekend right before Christmas. And, of course, the following Sunday is Christmas Eve. All this mess starts to roll in. So we're going to really be talking about that as we get into the next week. All right, let's go through the next 48 hours. Temperatures tonight, 36, 37. Not quite as cold as what we had during the morning hours. Clouds thicken during the morning, mostly cloudy in the afternoon. Look at our highs, near 60 once again. Cloudy skies tomorrow night. Look at the rain creeping closer. So here's Friday morning. It sneaks into southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Here's the noon hour, and then it gets into the metro once we get into Friday afternoon and evening, and then just periods of rain, which we need badly, Friday night into Saturday morning. Now, it's not going to be really heavy, but we'll take what we can get. I think a lot of us will get a 1/4 of an inch, upwards to 1/2 an inch, which, hey, we definitely need. Day planner on you Thursday, 37 to start, 56 by noon, high of 60, dropping back to 58 by the time we get to about 4 p.m. 59 on Friday, cooler Saturday with those showers. Sunshine returns Sunday, 55. Pretty good stretch next week, and then we have those rain chances moving back in by next weekend. Dow?
Doug, thanks. Second grade students at Columbian Elementary School in Carthage put their business skills to the test this afternoon. Students created their own stores within their classrooms, then opened up for business. First graders then got the chance to walk around each class and buy from each store, sort of, using the kind of money that was given to them. Teachers say it's the perfect opportunity to introduce students to the world of economics.
They already have ideas in their head. They know what store they want to do. They had the experience of coming and shopping at all the first grade, in their first grade year, at all the second grade stores last year. And so they already have ideas. They want to make bracelets, or they want to make slime, or they want to sell hot chocolate, whatever it is they want to do. But they had that idea from first grade, from being the shoppers.
Shops sold candy, decorations, and a few students even created a movie theater. How about that? Still ahead, highlights from tonight's championship round of the Mustang Classic basketball tournament. And 3 Pitt State football players are named AP All-Americans. John Dales has those stories and a lot more for us coming up next.
The Sonic Garlic. Caitlin Surrey, the 2023 Southwest Conference Player of the Year for softball and a 2022 state champion, signs her national letter of intent at Diamond High School today to compete at the collegiate level. The high school senior is staying here in the 4 states. She's going to Labette Community College to join the Cardinals, which is a decision that she says became much easier after she went on a visit and was able to witness firsthand what Labette's program is all about.
I really liked their culture and their coaching staff. I really liked meeting the players and seeing how they are and how they act towards each other. They're great people to hang around with, and I really enjoyed being at the college and being on campus with them.
The Mustang Classic basketball tournament concludes tonight on the girls' side. Meanwhile, the boys' portion begins this evening. McDonald County boys hoops at home tonight in the opening round of the Mustang Classic. Mustangs taking on Rush High School out of Nixa, Missouri, and in the first quarter, Cale Carlin gets the steal, and he's able to finish with the first bucket of the game for the Mustangs. Later in the half, it's Carlin again. He finds space to knock down the mid-range jumper. He'd finish this game with 17 points. McDonald County down by 3, but they pass it around the horn to find Josh Pacheco. He hits the corner 3. However, Mack County down by more than 20 at halftime. In the second half, Ryan Ray open. He drains the corner triple for Rush. Very next Rush possession, Garrett Rudy gets the transition layup to fall. McDonald County made this game very interesting in the closing minutes, but not enough. The Mustangs fall to Rush 57-52. In the girls' game tonight, McDonald County in the championship game of the Mustang Classic. Lady Mustangs facing the Farmington Cardinals out of Arkansas, down by 8 in the first quarter, but Caitlin Townsend picks up the rebound off the miss, puts it back up and in. Mustangs are on the board. Farmington ready to play tonight. Zoe Bershers high-low action layup is good. Farmington gets the ball right back quickly, and Bershers shoots from beyond the arc as well. 3-pointer up and good. Cardinals go up by 16. Lady Mustangs trying to get an answer out of a timeout. Roslyn Hudson fights for the rebound, puts it off the glass and in for 2, but Farmington a little bit too much to handle tonight. Nobody is here to guard Maddie Young, who knocks down the 3-point shot. All Farmington. Cardinals defeat the Mustangs 77-36. McDonald County finishes as runner-ups in the Mustang Classic. Over to college football, 3 Pittsburgh State players are named AP All-Americans. Offensive lineman Trace Jeffries, who just finished his final season in Pittsburgh. Linebacker Jack Barkley, who has 1 more year of eligibility remaining. Now, both of those two were team captains. Both of them are also second-team All-Americans. Then, tight end Devin Garrison is a first-team All-American. Now, he just wrapped up his 6th collegiate season, so he's not coming back. He led the nation in receiving yards by a tight end with 855. And another Gorilla football player who we found out today not coming back next year, Debemo Okonkwo, outside linebacker. He's played 5 seasons, had a chance for that COVID year to stay for his 6th season, but no, he says he's declaring for the NFL draft.
Gorilla's losing a lot of players. They're going to have to reload for next year, I guess.
Yeah, that's what happens.
We'll be right back. And away they go. You might have noticed the mountains of toys that you've seen pile up on our set in recent weeks. All those toys are now gone. That's because all those toys and hundreds of others that you never actually saw on air were bagged up today with the help of our partner, 5 Star Moving, and sent to various charitable organizations in counties all across the 4 states. Those organizations will get them to children in need around the area. Thank you to all of you who donated toys or money to help us buy toys. Thank you to all of our partners for making Christmas a little bit brighter for children in the 4 states. Now let's check back with Doug.
All right, Thursday is going to be another nice day. Temperature is fantastic. Highs right around 60 degrees. We are going to have more clouds, especially during the afternoon. Showers start sneaking in on Friday, especially Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Periods of showers all the way into Saturday, cooling down a bit, but sunshine returns for Sunday and great temperatures once again next week.
And a final sports note.
Big opportunity for Missouri Southern women's basketball tomorrow. The Lions go on the road to play number 3 in the country, Central Missouri.
All right, wish them well. Thanks for joining us. Well, let's make it a great tomorrow.